last year around this time, I did a video talking about the history of Thanksgiving. But what I gave y'all was the history that many of us already know, in which the Pilgrims came over here to America and slaughtered a lot of Native American Indians and killed them and had a feast to celebrate. You can go check those videos out in the description of this video right here. But right now, we're going to talk about the spiritual side of the celebration of Thanksgiving. The pagan side that has been celebrated since ancient times. Like a lot of trends and a lot of things that exist today, Thanksgiving Day has some very wicked origins. It can be traced back to ancient times when a lot of your ancient civilizations, such as the Romans or the Hindus or the Mayans, etc., celebrated a feast in celebration of harvest time. So the idea of having a feast to celebrate your harvest, that has been all around the world since ancient times. So if you claim to be a believer of the Most High Yah, or even a Christian for that matter, then you need to listen to what I have to say. I'm going to read some information from this document here, and I'm going to also put it on the screen for y'all to see it, and I'll also put a link in the description as well so you can download it. But it talks about the unvarnished origin of Thanksgiving. And there's a little bit of information at the top, but I'm going to go straight to the bottom, where it talks about the symbols of Thanksgiving, or the symbols of the fruitful goddess and her fertility rites. And let's look at the first one. Cornucopus. In Greek mythology, the horn of Amalthea, and they got in parentheses, the name of the goat who suckled Zeus, became known as Cornucopia, or Horn of Plenty. Isis, the Egyptian faithful wife and mother and goddess, was identified with Hathor, the horned cow goddess. Horns are still used in pagan festivals today. Then you got the Harvest Queen, a name given to Ceres, the Roman goddess of agriculture and crops, or to a young woman chosen from among the reapers, to whom was given a post of honor at the harvest home. Also, the 1948 edition of the Universal World Reference Encyclopedia tells us Demeter, the Greek version of the Egyptian goddess Isis and the Roman version of Ceres, is one of the principal Grecian deities, the great mother goddess, the nourishing and fertilizing principles of nature. Corn represents Ceres, the corn goddess, agriculture and crops, or Zelonin, goddess of the new corn. Poppies. Ceres corresponds with Isis of the Egyptians and Demeter of the Greeks. She is represented with a garland of ears of grain on her head, holding in one hand a lighted torch, and in the other a poppy, which is sacred to her, and then piglet, or sow. Demeter is represented with a cow and a sow, as well as honey, poppies, corn, and fruit, indicating thanksgiving for a land of plenty. And as you know, in parentheses, swine are an abomination to Yahuwah. See Isaiah chapter 66, verse 3 through 4. So, Thanksgiving, a holiday or a holy day. Remember that Yah has given, through his holy scriptures, his holy days. Yah tells his people to keep his feasts in Leviticus chapter 23. He says that these are a sign for his people. The Feast of Tabernacles is the only feast to be celebrated as a feast of ingathering for his people. In England, the autumnal feast called Harvest Home was derived from the Druidical Harvest Feast. The Druids are the most openly satanic in their form of worship. This 3-day feast began with a special service at the village church, which had been decorated for the occasion with fruit and flowers. Afterwards followed a communal dinner. In America, the celebration of Thanksgiving sprang up haphazardly and was celebrated, if at all, on different days in different parts of the country. Here in America, the Puritans originally shunned the harvest home, Thanksgiving. All the saints' days were swept of the calendar, as well as Christmas and Easter, on the grounds that they were mixed popish rituals with pagan customs. Their religious beliefs, as well as the austerity and difficulty of their lives in the rather primitive settlement, did not permit them the luxury of gay and merry holidays. Their severe living conditions required discipline and sacrifice. Later, Thanksgiving, a holiday thanking God for the harvest, enabled them to survive the winter. Seemed to them to be a more fitting celebration than the other more established feasts of the church. But was it the right decision? Now, that's all I'm going to read from that passage right there. But you can see, looking at this document, I suggest you read the whole thing. The origins of Thanksgiving, man, were completely pagan, man. They worshipped false gods, Roman deities, Egyptian deities, and they were all in the name of celebrating a so-called harvest or giving thanksgiving to the fertility gods who were blessing them with corn and other crops for the year. And so, you come over here to America, you look at the history, you see them crazy pilgrims. They went forth, they killed all them Native Americans, shed their blood, stabbed and maimed children, and a lot of pillaging and raping and all kinds of craziness that went on during that day. And after they were finished and all that blood had been spilled, then they have a feast to celebrate Thanksgiving. Maybe that's why they were so content with being thankful in the name of something horrible, some atrocity they had done, because they knew it was a pagan, wicked holiday. So, I suggest y'all do y'all extended research on Thanksgiving. It's more than just what they did on Thanksgiving here in America. It's a lot more to it. And even that alone is enough for me to end the holiday, to stop celebrating it. But that just seals it even more when I see the false god history attached to it. With that, I'm going to say shalom and do your research. The documents are at the bottom of this video for you to read over the history of Thanksgiving. With that, I'll say peace.